Dun, ta-da! That's right, everybody. It is episode 25 of Lowry at Home, and the affiliated Woodpeckers here to celebrate with me. You are all at home, and welcome to Lowry at Home. You know, we've been doing this now for 25 episodes. So happy to have you here with us. We got some fun stuff here today. Starting off, it is Friday, which means that it is time to answer some viewer questions. So first up, we have naturalist Brett, who had a question about snakes. Well, he didn't have the question. One of you had the question, and he's going to answer that question that you guys had. So take it away, Mr. Brett.
Hey, it's Mr. Brett from the Lowry Nature Center, and I went back and I looked at some of the comments from the garter snake video just a couple days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit excited for some of those people who were proclaiming their love for snakes. It hit me right here. One person said, you know what, it was baby steps just to watch this video, and they were proud of themselves, and I'm proud of you too. I know snakes aren't a lot of people's favorite animal, and that's okay. But the appreciation for how important they are to the environment, I think, is absolutely necessary. And then if you start to be like, you know what, actually, I kind of think they're pretty neat, now we're getting somewhere. There was, however, one question that came out of that video, and it was about the timber rattlesnakes and how lethal their bite was. Now, let's break this down. First and foremost, it's not often people get bit by rattlesnakes or snakes in general. A snake, when a person or some other animal comes by, is first and foremost probably going to freeze. It's going to hope that you didn't see it and that you don't know that it's there. Secondly, if it does see, you've noticed that you notice or you motion towards it, a couple things are going to happen. One, it's probably going to just slither away. Two, it might hiss if it has the ability to hiss. And three, it might move its tail around. Now, fox snakes and bull snakes will move their tail around, rattle it in the dry leaves to imitate that rattly sound. And that's what the rattlesnake has that rattle for, is to warn other animals, like, hey, respect my distance. Go ahead, stay where you're at, or else. And it's that or else. If by chance someone does get bit, it's not always that venom's coming out. The snake is in complete control of that. When they're younger, they often will release more of the venom. As they get older, it is something that they're a little bit more cautionary with. With that being said, if you were to get bit by a rattlesnake, 6 to 48 hours, up to 2 days, potentially you could have, where your body would be able to continue to battle against it. After that, we're going to have problems. Now, within 2 hours, if you get that anti-venom, get bit by the snake, get to the medical attention people, within 2 hours, you get the anti-venom, 99% survival rate. Now, that's not me saying, hey, go find a rattlesnake, get bit, because as long as you're within 2 hours of a hospital, you're going to be fine. No, that's not it. Rattlesnakes and snakes in general, amazing to see, best to leave alone, but really, truly, there for all to appreciate. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the question. Now, back to Lowry at Home.
Thank you, Brett. And coming up next, we've got Mr. Jay Sweet, who's going to be telling us what he heard from the bird nerd. Even Banksy here wants to hear about that. Take it away, Josh.
Welcome back to What I Heard from the Bird Nerd. I'm still happy to be your host, Josh Sweet, from the Lowry Nature Center. Ask anyone who knows me well, and they'll tell you that my favorite group of birds are woodpeckers. There's just something about their unique patterns and their behaviors that I find really interesting. Now, when it comes to woodpecker identification, at the Lowry Nature Center and in Minnesota as a whole, there are only 9 different species, regular species of woodpeckers that you might come across. So here are a few clues that can help you to tell the difference between some of the woodpeckers that you may see. First and foremost, downy versus hairy woodpeckers. By looking at the two, they're almost completely identical. However, the hairy woodpecker is slightly bigger, and its bill is about the length of its head. So it's a very long bill. This is different from the smaller downy woodpecker that has a bill that's only about as long as half of their head. To help us tell the difference, Kirk, could you help us out with a couple of photos, please? In addition to telling the difference between these two woodpeckers, there are another two species of woodpeckers that are sometimes misidentified. This would be the red-headed woodpecker and the red-bellied woodpecker. Red-headed woodpeckers, as their name implies, have a full red head. That would be from the neck up. Versus a red-bellied woodpecker that just has a red crest. Kirk, can you help us out with a couple of photos of these species? Thanks very much. Among these different species of woodpeckers, you can also find three other regular common woodpeckers, three other species at the Lowry Nature Center. They all look completely different. This would include a pileated woodpecker, the largest in Minnesota, northern flickers, and yellow-bellied sapsuckers. Kirk, can you show us some photos of these species? Now, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that there were 9 different species of woodpeckers in our state. And at the moment, I've only showed you pictures of 7 of them. That's because there are 2 woodpeckers that would not regularly be found at the Lowry Nature Center. You'd have to go far north in Minnesota to find these species. That includes the black-backed woodpecker and 3-toed woodpeckers. Thanks to all of our listeners here today. I hope you've learned something about woodpecker identification while listening to our video, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.
Thank you, Josh. That is always fun. We have a lot of fun with that. Thank you to all of you for being here with us at Lowry at Home. Again, if you have any questions for us, leave them in the comments. Go ahead and smash that like button for us. We love that. We want more people to find out about our show. And just thanks so much for everything you've done for us. We want to keep on doing this for you. We'll be back. We've got 5 more weeks of programming ready to go. So we'll be seeing you around. We hope you'll be seeing us here 10 o'clock every weekday at Lowry at Home. Have a good weekend, everybody.